Hi everyone, my name is Ben Jones and I'm an analyst at Dorsey, Wright and Associates, and today I want to present to you another installment of the DWA India Minute. And first and foremost, let's look at the CNX Nifty. Right now we see that it continues to trade in a positive trend. The overall long-term outlook is positive and suggests that demand is in control. Even with last week's little weak negative action, it's still held at support at that 5,700 and it currently remains in X's. If we see that reverse down and break that 5,700 to 5,600, that would be a sign that we were going to see some weakness, and it would be our first sell signal since May. And today I want to talk about a topic that we mention frequently in these videos, and that's technical attributes. You hear us mention technical attributes whenever we look at a stock, and that's when we say this is a 5 for 5 or a 2 for 5 or something along those lines. And a technical attribute reading is simply a way that we rank or score a stock. And we have these readings for all the Indian stocks that we track on our database, and they provide an objective form of analysis for Indian stocks because there are no emotional or human inputs in this. This is all based off of fact. It's all based off of relative strength and trend. So we're looking at absolute characteristics as well as relative characteristics. So, what is a technical attribute reading? Well, it's simply a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reading. And we essentially look at 5 attributes there. The first attribute that we look at is trend. Is that stock trading in a positive trend? The next 2 attributes are market relative strength attributes. That's if it's on a buy signal against the CNX Nifty on a relative strength basis, and is it in X's on that relative strength chart. Then we look at peer relative strength chart. Is it on a buy signal against its peer group or sector, and is it in X's against its peer group? So those are 5 attributes: trend, market relative strength long term, market relative strength short term, peer relative strength long term, and peer relative strength short term. 5 attributes. It's simple, and it gives us a quick and easy way to determine whether or not we should be looking at the stock or taking it out of our portfolio. And so today I want to look at 5 stocks that have 5 different technical attribute readings so you can kind of get a handle of what we're talking about. The first stock is Suzlon Energy Limited. This is a name that is a 0 for 5er, so it's a very weak name. If we have in our portfolio, we want to think about weeding it out. And the reason for this is that it's down 46% for the year. And more importantly, our technical attribute readings have been telling us that for a while. Since November of 2009, it's been on a sell signal against the market. Since October of 2009, it's been on a sell signal against its peer group, as well as being in X's against those areas. So this is a name that is down 46%, a name that is very weak, and there are no positive signs here for this name. And so just by looking at its technical attribute reading, we would know to stay away from this stock. The next name is a 1 for 5er. This is a stock that only has 1 technical attribute, and this is Reliance Industries Limited. And the only positive technical attribute is that it's trading in a positive trend. Yet it's on a sell signal against the market, it's on a sell signal against its peer group, and it's in O's against both of those. And for the year it's down 6%, so we're better off owning the Nifty than this particular stock. Another name is JP Associates. This is a 2 for 5er, so it's only meeting 2 attributes, and that's simply that it's on a buy signal against the Nifty, and it's on a buy signal against its peer group on a relative strength basis, yet its short-term relative strength characteristics are very weak. It's in O's right now, and it's trading in a negative trend. So it only has 2 positive attributes. This is a name we want to weed out of our portfolio or look to sell on any rally, and so it's just weak right now. If we look at HDFC Bank Limited, this is a 3 for 5er. And whenever we see a stock with either 3, 4, or 5 technical attributes, these are going to be the stocks you're going to want to look at. These are our good citizens. And if we look at HDFC, it's been on a buy signal against the market since 2001. That's a very long-term signal. And it's been on a, if you look at the sell signal against its peer group and an O's, that's really the only reason why it's a 3 for 5er. Is that it's yet to really outperform its peer group, yet it's been outperforming the market on a long-term and short-term basis. It's trading in a positive trend, and it's up 30.55% for the year. So this is a good citizen, a name that I want to look to add to my portfolio potentially. A 4 for 5er, this is a stock that reaches 4 of the possible 5 technical attribute readings, is Ranbaxy Laboratory. The only really attribute that it doesn't have is it's been on a sell signal against its peer group, yet on a short-term basis in X's, so this could potentially produce that buy signal. But it's trading in a positive trend, and it's on a buy signal against the market. And the Nifty is a tough benchmark to beat, so the fact that it's been on a buy signal since November of 2009 suggests that demand is in control of this name. Now, the elite stock, a 5 for 5er. Who could it be? Well, one name is Mahindra & Mahindra. It's been trading in a positive trend going back to 2009. It's been on a buy signal against the Nifty since March of '09, and it's been on a buy signal against its peer group since October. It's an X's against both of those, and that's why it's a 5 for 5er. It simply meets all of those technical attribute requirements. So again, look to those 3s, 4s, and 5s. Those are the type of names that are being controlled by demand and have outperformance against the market and its sector. So here are a couple names that we want to look at and maybe add to our watch list because they are showing signs of outperformance and positive trend characteristics. As well, most of these, actually all of them, are going to be our solid citizens. So if we look at Wipro Limited, it's a 5 for 5er, which means it meets all of those technical attribute requirements. Recently reversed up in December. I like this name because it's showing recent and improving signs of relative strength. Why? Because it just produced a buy signal against its peer group, which is the technology sector. So you could potentially put a short-term stop there at 390. That would break a triple bottom. I would look to buy here. Solid Citizen has that elite status. Definitely going to put that on my watch list. If we look at another technology name, Infosys, this has been on a buy signal against the market since September of '09. Recently broke a double top at 3150. Look to buy here. Nice stop around 2900. Break a triple bottom. Trading in a positive trend. Another name is Gujarat Fluorochemicals, another 5 for 5er. It recently reversed up into X's against the market. That's a sign of short-term improvement. And one reason why I like this is it's on a pullback after reaching 220. I like the fact that you could put a trend line stop there at 174 because that would change the trend from positive to negative. It'll be a sign of some weakness that we're seeing there. Another 5 for 5er is Cadilla Healthcare Limited. It's a healthcare name trading a positive trend. We just saw it reverse up into X's. I love the stop there around 70.30. That would shift the trend to negative as well. So those are the type of things we want to look at when analyzing stocks. You want to look at those relative characteristics. Is it outperforming the market or its peer group? And is that stock trading a positive trend? So that's all for today. We'll talk to you next week.